All right, welcome to the relationship show. This one is on everything's going great except for sex. So, this woman writes, I've been dating my boyfriend who's 31, she's 30, for a year. Our sex life is horrible as he's terrible in bed. Is sex the most important thing in a relationship? She writes, I love him. I hate saying that, but I do. Um, I wanted to wait since I was tired of men hitting it and quitting. He had no issues waiting. He's really special. We get along so well and have a ton of chemistry. He's different to any of the guys I've dated before, sweet, smart, and goofy. But the sex is the worst I've ever had, and I've had some bad sex before. He's just plain terrible. He doesn't know how to please me, and he finishes almost instantly. Last time he went 2 minutes, like almost a minute. The worst part is he is trying. We've done it 4 times now, and every time has been terrible. I don't know if it is my fault or what, but I can't tell. I can tell he's inexperienced. I'm conflicted. My best friend says I should dump him. Sex is the most. She says that sex is the most important thing in a relationship, and nothing else matters. If the sex is bad, everything else is meaningless. Nice guys like him are a dime a dozen. At least you got a good support system there. But on the other hand, he's so amazing. We have so much chemistry together. I've never been in love. I've never had butterflies in my stomach like I do when I'm around him. What should I do? I just don't see him ever getting good at this. Should we break up or should I keep trying? Well, the good thing is sex can be learned. I mean, it's a learned skill. Um, so if he doesn't know how to like please a woman, it's like he hasn't learned how to do it. So I guess I can just like go over some sex things. Um, so one way would just be, well, first reading about it. I got this book a little while ago. It's good, especially for like oral to a woman, cunnilingus or whatever. But it'll actually gives you some good tricks. This guy, the author, he kind of goes into detail almost to the extreme, like he takes it a little bit too seriously, but overall it really taught me a lot. And so like when you're eating a woman out, you like know where her clit is for one. And then also you want to basically like use your lips when you're eating her out and use that to basically push the skin above her clit up, exposes the head of her clit, and then that's where you basically lick her clit. As far as fingering her, you can do it on like the surface, rubber clit. You can go in her G spot. It's like almost feels like the roof of your mouth almost. That's how you'll know it's on like the top if she's facing you. Let's see, with sex, okay. As far as he had a problem of basically coming in like a couple minutes, and that is the biggest obstacle is the beginning because it's like the warmth, or it seems to be, the warmth of the pussy is like that's what gets you. So it's like if you can overcome those first couple minutes, then it's like you can last much longer. But you just basically have to pace yourself at the beginning. Don't jump into it. Sometimes it's easier than other times. I've done this before, but it was just like, it happens once in a while, but it's like if you can just overcome that initial kind of penetration, I guess, then that's a big part. And then another one is that you won't find in like in these books or anything is using your breath. And so if you can use your breath, breathe in sync with her. So if you're like close together, like you're in a position where you're close together, maybe like your foreheads are touching and then you're like looking in her eyes and you're like breathing deeply. So like match and mirror her breath. And so when she breathes out, you breathe out. When she breathes in, you breathe in. And it's like you two become like connected. And that is probably the biggest thing you can do if you want to have like sex that you will always remember, because that's the kind of sex that just absolutely connects people. connects you to, it's like it's like you're almost like reading each other's minds almost. It's like to that extent if you do it for like an hour or an hour and a half straight, and that will be something that you can basically give her as something that she's probably never experienced. And so just like that's kind of the basic concepts. Is men typically go for like mission driven stuff. As far as sex, that's one common mistake is they'll like rush in and then think like the outcome is like getting her to orgasm. Some women do like to orgasm first in like foreplay, and so get them to come first, and then you have sex, and then you start penetrating her. Um, but don't just make it all about the orgasm. So don't just go like no foreplay, no like touching her body, making it a experience, because that's really what you want to do. You want to basically just make it an experience, and then also leading up to sex. It's for women, usually it's more the case that it's the actions throughout the day that lead up to the moment of sex, and whereas like guys tend to be like instant, like I'm ready to go, ready to have sex, ready to achieve the outcome. So you just have to basically build the anticipation up throughout the day, and then she'll be much more interested in sex, much more attracted to you, which will in turn make better sex in the end. You can tell that she's really turned on by if she's wet, or if she like her pussy lips like on the sides of her pussy lips like get engorged. That is another indicator that she is turned on. But yeah, so those are kind of some basic. If you can implement those, then you're like above everyone else for the most part as far as knowing how to please a woman.